Hello everyone, I'm Christopher Tan and welcome to Providend's Money Wisdom, an original podcast inspired by my book Money Wisdom, Simple Truths for Financial Wellness. In this podcast, I'll be sharing simple financial truths to guide you in navigating through the minefields of misinformation and false promises in order to achieve financial security and peace of mind. Is your financial advisor worth his salt? Someone jokingly told me that after seeing so many advisors and reading so many articles on papers and magazines, he thinks that he can also be an investment advisor. This is what he says investment advice is. High risk, potential high return. Low risk and low return. But don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Have a diversified portfolio. Markets will be up and down, but ride the volatility and think long term and the returns will come. He then ends his advice with an illustration. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it out all the time to check whether it is growing well, right? You just water it and in time to come, the plant will grow. So likewise, stay invested. After hearing him, I didn't know whether to laugh or feel upset because he imitated it so well. But the sad fact is, these motherhood statements are so theoretical. They don't give anyone any assurances that their investments will ultimately yield fruits. If you are using a financial advisor to help you with your investments, you must at least expect the following work to be done. Otherwise, he's wasting your time and money. Well, firstly, understand how you want your investments to behave. The first thing before you invest your money is to determine how you want your investments to behave. A good financial advisor or wealth advisor will help clarify and understand your need, ability, and willingness to take risk. For this exercise to be meaningful to you, you will be asked to quantify the risk so that you and your advisor can measure and check it. Otherwise, it means nothing to you when you are described as a balanced investor, for example. Your advisor must tell you that your investment portfolio will give you an average return of, say, about 7% per year, with your investments fluctuating between 1.5 to 6%, for example, and you will experience this 2 out of every 3 years. This is the behavior that you want, and it is the advisor's job to deliver what you want. Secondly, your advisor must create a plan that gives you that kind of behavior. Once your advisor knows how you want your investments to behave, he or she needs to use the historical behavior of different asset classes such as equities, bonds, cash, etc., and as a teacher to set the optimal combination, otherwise known as a portfolio. This portfolio should represent the best probability of giving you the investment behavior of your preference. To make the plan even more robust, he or she needs to make some, sort of understanding on what he thinks the returns of the market would be, and to show you what this means for your goals. Thirdly, find the best instruments to execute the plan for you. If you don't have a lot of money to invest, and by that I mean anything less than 1.5 million US dollars, one of the best ways to execute your plan is via mutual funds, where you can access to the global markets with limited resources. That being the case, the advisor should help you select using suitable low-cost instruments such as ETFs, index funds, or evidence-based funds to execute your plan. And last but not least, rebalancing the plan as and when needed. As financial markets go through the proverbial ups and downs, your portfolio asset allocation might change and no longer reflect the initial asset allocation that you are comfortable with. If this is the case, you will need to consider rebalancing your portfolio back to its original allocation. This is in view of the risk and portfolio behavior that you are comfortable with. Only then are you likely to stay invested long term to reap the expected returns. It is true that when you plant a seed, you do not dig it out every now and then to make sure it is growing. However, you still have to check if the seed sprouts and its buds appears after a certain amount of time. You then verify if it's growing to the size that you expect it to grow, so that you can adjust your plan if necessary. If you have paid your advisor, whether a commission or a fee to take care of your financial plan, make sure you get what you deserve. Thank you for tuning in to Providend's Money Wisdom. I will be back soon with the next episode. For more information on my book or Providend's services, kindly visit providend.com. I'll see you the next time. All analysis, views or opinions from interviews, recommendations and other information broadcasted, podcasted or published herein are provided for general information purposes only. Information expressed does not take into account any specific situation, particular needs or objectives, and should not be construed as specific advice or a recommendation. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal or tax professional before taking any action. Providend Limited does not accept any liability for any loss whatsoever arising from any use of the information broadcasted, podcasted, or published herein. All contents and information contained herein may not be copied or reproduced in whole or in part by any means without prior written consent of Providend Limited.